Guys, I think we'll just wait for another 2, 3 minutes and wait for everybody else to join in, and we'll begin then. And I'll request everybody to please mute their mics. Vaibhav, if you know, are we expecting more students or do you want me to begin? I think we can begin now, and others who are joining, they can continue to join. So, because I don't want to waste the time of the students who've already joined in. Yeah. So, firstly, if you can show me a thumbs up, you all see my screen and hear me? Yeah. Okay. Great. So hello everyone, and thanks for having me. And I welcome you all to this webinar. I am Sakshi Mittal this side, and I'm the founder of University Leap. And our company is dedicated towards career counseling and helping students achieve their true potential, and making sure that all students like you actually get the right guidance to pursue a career that totally fits you. We further go a step ahead in that and help you with college admissions in India, in abroad, Ivy Leagues. We have a stellar record of placing students in the topmost colleges of India and abroad, whether it's ISB, IIMs, all your Ivy League universities like University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, Columbia, or any other countries like London School of Economics, University of Melbourne, HEC Paris, etc. So that is a bit about us. And I have myself been an alumni of University of Delhi a long time back, and post that I went in to do my masters at University of Manchester in UK. So that's a little bit about me. And for the past 8 years, I have been working into this field of career counseling, and that's why we are here today to actually help you a little bit to get one step closer to your dreams, to help you kind of give you a direction as to what you can do in the future, what are the options that the future holds for you. So I'm told that a lot of us here today are second year students and students going into the final year, or you'll be graduating soon. So I'm very sure that a lot of questions come into our mind at this time, as to what we can do and further. A lot of you have already, I think, also planned that. So we'll be talking something about that today. Yes, our prime focus today is going to be on how we can get into the top universities, into Ivy Leagues. Of course, we're going to talk about that, but like I said, that because our company is very focused towards that, no matter where you go to study, whether it's India, whether it's Ivy Leagues, whether it's top universities abroad, but our first major goal is for you to realize that, just give me a second, sorry. Our first major goal is that you reach the correct goal as far as your career is concerned. So we're going to start by talking about a little bit about that, what should be the right career for you, how you can plan that. So now, if you'll traditionally see that in India, of course, things are changing a lot. But in general, if I talk to you about this, a traditional view about the landscape of education for many years has been that if you took up science in school, there is a set career path that students would usually follow. And for many of you here today who are commerce students, you're from the commerce society here, you might be doing a BCom honors, BCom program, economics. Some of you might be from other programs as well. But you'll see that mostly, in most cases, I'm not saying everybody does that, but mostly, when we talk to people or it comes to taking decisions for ourselves, also we'll think about, 2 or 3 career options. That, okay, let me start preparing for CA. A lot of you must have already done that also, or it's an MBA through the CAT route, or some banking exams or other exams. So of course, these are the options that have been there for a lot of years, and a lot of us end up thinking about this only primarily because it seems like a safe option, and sometimes we are not very aware about what other options are available to us. So even though they are good options, but in today's time, I mean, if the last year has taught us anything, we all know how much the world is changing, how much the career dynamics are changing today. So we have to make a career in a very informed way. So if I talk to you guys about this, in the past 1 or 2 years, we've seen some careers like ethical hacking, artificial intelligence, robotics, data analytics, app development, etc., and many such careers. Can you believe it that in the past 1 or 2 years we have been seeing everywhere that these have become the hottest careers? And one thing that's common amongst all of them is that around the year 2007, 2008, 2005, we had never even heard about such courses. We had never even heard about such career options that were there. So, and in 1 or 2 years time, from the past 2 years, these are all the career options that we have been talking about. So what I mean to tell you is that things are changing very frequently. So for all of you who are planning your career today, one very important thing, of course, nothing beats it, that you have to be interested in what you're doing. Nothing is more important than that. And I'm sure that since you've graduated from school and you've explored more in college, a lot of you might have realized that it's very important for us to go for a career that we're really interested in, which we are passionate about. And I totally agree with that. Now the second thing, which is equally important, besides that, I'm all for doing a career which you are passionate about, which you love doing. Second thing which becomes very important in today's times, the relevancy. So when I'm talking about relevancy, like I said, all of you are in the second year or third year or the final year, you'll be graduating. Now, when you see yourselves in a particular career, you don't only have to think about today, but at least you know that what will be relevant in the market in the next 20 years. There are so many fields in India today, in which students go end up doing courses, and then we see the result of it is that there are not enough jobs available, because so many careers are slowly and slowly becoming obsolete, and primarily because of one thing here that we see is artificial intelligence. I mean, if I'm talking about, say, basic accountants, data entry people, so many such other careers, they are slowly and slowly getting obsolete. So when we are thinking about careers for ourselves, even in the field of commerce, I understand that some of these examples are more geared towards the science students, but even for all us commerce students who are here, we need to think about what's going to be relevance in the next 5 to 10 years. हम ऐसा कोर्स ना करके बैठ जाएं that in the next 2 or 3 years उसकी demand ही खत्म हो जाए, or things are different in the job market. Talking about the job market, I'm sure that everybody here wants a good job, either right after your graduation or after something you plan to do post the graduation as well. Can I please request everybody to mute their mics? Yeah, so coming back to the job market per se, the Indian employment report actually showed that just by the year 2022, which is the next year, it's already happening, that about 37% of people nowadays have started working into very new job positions. I mean, some positions which you were not hearing 7-8 years back, even you'll see this change when you're getting companies for campus placements in different colleges. काफी सारे न्यू तरीके के जॉब रोल्स आ गए हैं हैं, new requirements आ गई हैं, especially with the ongoing pandemic that was there. Dynamics have changed a lot. Companies are looking at people who can do multiple jobs at the same time. They are not looking for people who can just do one simple job at a time. So yes, this trend is coming, that slowly and slowly you will see job positions, job roles which are absolutely new. And around 9 to 10% of job roles, जैसे examples मैंने अभी आपको ऊपर दिए, in the next 2 or 3 years you will see that if I'll go back to this slide, जैसे मैं आपको यहाँ दिखा रही हूँ, जो examples यहाँ पे हो रहे हैं, probably after 2 or 3 years we'll start looking at new options which were never there in this era of between 2015 to 2022. So I would suggest that you should be doing your research into it. So now talking about new age careers, like when we spoke about the fact that MBA and doing a chartered accountancy are not only our options today. You will see people doing so well with so many different kind of things, whether it's business analytics, digital marketing, social media management, game design, things like event management, financial technology, wealth management ho gaya, life coaching, business consulting, investment analysis. So there are a lot of options available for each one of you. So I would urge all of you that whenever you're planning your career, to just go a little beyond the normal and start exploring different careers, so that you're not a part of the herd कि फिर वो ही नहीं हो that हमारे जैसे तो कम से कम 10 लाख ऐसे लोग और हैं जिन्होंने वही चीज की हुई है, right? So go beyond the usual and start looking for new age careers. So this is something that I wanted to talk to you about, as a career plan, that yes, start thinking out of the box, start thinking about careers which involve a lot of technology, because tech is what's going to be in after a few years. It already is. We never thought all these webinars we used to do in your colleges, in your auditoriums, in the classrooms, but the past 1 year, who would have thought we'll all be meeting like this? So things are changing, and we have to too as well. So now moving from that, I would want to talk a little bit about how things are developing. So, this used to be a typical factory in the 1900s. And, on the right image, you see that by around, 2018 or as of now only, this is what a typical Google office looks like. And probably we've moved a step further where the offices are also virtual. So the left side image that you see, that was a typical factory. And unfortunately, what is happening in today's time is that this is what we are still trained to be doing. पहले के टाइम के जो कोर्सेज डिजाइन थे वो इस वजह से होते थे that after graduating from there you were supposed to be working in a factory, whether it was into production, into any sort of thing. So unfortunately our education system is still kind of we're of course having wonderful new things that are coming up, new age universities. Kudos to all the teachers. They are making in all the efforts to make sure that all of you are up to date to some extent. But in general, this is how the change has been. If we again look at our cars, this is what used to happen in the early 1900s, and now we have cars like this. Soon probably I was reading somewhere Tesla is coming up with driverless cars. Of course, flying cars also is something which is due to come in the next 1 or 2 years. So this is how things are changing. And my next slide is a little bit unfortunate that our education system, at least till last year, it still looked like this. Barring aside a few institutions, few courses, we're still being taught like that. जैसे हम पहले पढ़ रहे थे वैसे ही we are studying today, and which is very unfortunate. So another thing, when you are planning your careers, is for you to look at institutions which are implementing new age teaching nowadays, right? So this is where our aim comes to, that even if you are studying in India, if you decide to take up further courses after that, you need to look at courses, you need to look at institutions which are making sure that unke courses are up to date for the job market, for the market of the future. They are actually training you well to do it. I mean, if for the students who are doing your commerce courses, we today have softwares like Quick QuickBooks, etc., which is used worldwide, but not even a single course in our country, actually gives you the practical training कि कल को अगर आपको किसी finance उसमें जाके job करना होएगा, if they ask you, have you ever used that? Probably our answer for most of our students will be no, that, we don't know how to use it, right? So that's something that you should be focusing on again. So like I have been talking that in the next few years, a lot of skills that the employers will need are a lot of problem solving skills, cross functional skills. You have to have multiple skills, a lot of adaptability that is needing, analytical skills. जैसे 10 साल पहले होता था, like when the industrial revolution had come, speaking English used to be considered an essential skill. Few years later, when the computers and all had come, knowing MS Word used to be a basic skill. Today, I mean, you can't go and flaunt to somebody that I know how to use MS Word. That's just, for the today's generation, that's a skill that's been there ever since they were, born. Now, if we talk about the skills of the future, for example, analytical skills, coding skills, in the next few years, these are going to become like essential skills, which no matter what fields we are from, we have to know them. Today, I think no matter what job you go in for, you still need to know about social media marketing, etc. So if you guys have also been reading, in fact, top companies say like a Google, Twitter, so many of them, उनको आज की डेट में डिग्री की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती है. What they need is good skills. But yes, to get to those skills also, sometimes we need to get into a good university, right? So this is where I boil down to promoting that why every one of you should be getting an opportunity to study abroad, because everything that we've spoken about in the above slides boils down to this, that barring aside a few institutions, if I can count on my fingers, some top IIMs are there, ISBs are there. If I'm talking with respect to say MBAs and all, which a lot of students here do aspire to do, most of our institutions are not matching up to the level of what the employer is looking for outside, and that is where the entire employment gap comes, that we're not able to get jobs. So that is where studying abroad comes in, and something that all of you can think about. Number one, the advantage being the kind of variety of courses that they offer. I mean, all the options we talked about above in our new age careers, unfortunately, in India today, you'll hardly find a master's course which is very specific to say a social media design or an investment analysis or a financial technology. Again, you will have 2 or 3 odd institutions. In fact, it was so unfortunate. I had a student in a counseling session yesterday. He really wants to do a course in real estate development, but again, barring aside 2 universities, one Narsee Monjee and one Amity universities, there is hardly a master's course which is directed towards real estate development. So that is where studying abroad provides you with a lot of advantage in terms of a lot of variety of courses. Their education systems are very, very updated, so you actually get that desired skill that is relevant, which leads to higher employability. Here I have not used कि higher आपको वो होएगा employability. You become more employable because of the skills that you have, and of course other opportunities like travel opportunities, networking with people all over the world. Of course, all of that is there, but I think the biggest advantages are the kind of courses they offer and the skills they impart you. So for example, a typical Masters of Finance program over there, of course you will have theories or everything like that, but you will hardly find yourself solving a single sum on a paper, because all their education will be actually done on the real softwares that are used in the companies. In fact, most of the good finance programs, if I can give you an example, would include a 1 week boot camp sort of a thing, in which you will be given mock money, mock shares, divided into 2 groups, actually made to invest into the shares according to the market trend that's going on, and that's your whole assignment, right? So it's wonderful to see how they've picked up those systems, and once you graduate from those masters, you basically are ready with the skills that job of that stature is going to want you to have. Now, of course, studying abroad, we've talked about it. It has, great opportunities over there. And of course, when we want to get into a university abroad, we are aiming at topmost universities. So now, what does it actually, take for us to be at the top? So unlike India, where most admissions are based on a typical CAT entrance examination or other entrance examinations, most top universities abroad would actually, want you to have a holistic profile in terms of good academic grades in college, good LinkedIn profiles. Your profile should be very nice in your 3 years of college, wherein you should have done a lot of internships, any extracurricular activity. For example, you're part of the commerce society here. They would want to see through your 3 years what all you've done, how many events you've organized, what are the other contribution you've made, any social service activities that you've done, any online courses that you've done to enhance your knowledge behind the besides the curriculums. So they want to see a holistic profile. Of course, grades is one thing. Next thing is your extracurricular activities, which can involve internships, community service, etc. All of them. Almost all the universities would want you to write a statement of purpose or essays telling them that, why should you get into their university, or why should they select you. You have to submit a very well-rounded resume. Of course, there are entrance examinations like GMAT, GRE, which few universities would need depending on the countries. So you have to start preparing, at least 1 year in advance to submit good applications. And also, guys, I think we'll be running out of time in 10 minutes. So at that time, in the next 5 minutes, I'll end the meeting once, and I'll request all of you to rejoin me from there. Right. So we'll just continue till then. Yeah. So basically, universities abroad will be, looking at a holistic profile. So I don't want to get into too much detail of this. What I would suggest is for all the students who are planning to go abroad, or if you're interested, to book a one-on-one counseling session with us, because the requirements differ from universities to universities, from country to country. We'll be able to guide you better as to कि कहाँ GMAT चाहिए, कहाँ नहीं चाहिए, कितना GMAT चाहिए. We can evaluate your profile for you in terms of that how much more activity you can do according to your grades and your profile, which are the universities you can get into. So just remember this, that yes, universities abroad are looking at a total holistic profile. Right. So now the next thing comes again, how do we build such a terrific profile? So like I have been mentioning, that you have to go beyond your curriculum. You have to make sure that you're doing additional certifications, you're doing some volunteer activities, internships all through 3 years, participating in as much extracurriculars as you can. Right. And again, of course, I mean, all of you are in college already, but wherever you try to go in for a summer school, any short programs, again, like the fact that I have been emphasizing on, try and go into new age universities where they can actually give you that sort of a training. Yeah. So this is about how you can actually build your profile. Now coming to the fact that which are the top countries that are there. Of course, the most popular countries for students are USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, Dubai, Singapore, all of them. So, very often students will ask me that out of them, which is the best country? So I would say, all countries are very good. So for example, USA has the highest number of colleges, which is the Ivy League universities and all the top colleges. UK has a lot of top colleges. You have Oxford, Cambridge, London School of Economics, King's College London. If I talk about USA, you have NYU, Columbia, Harvard, MIT, those kind of schools. Canada, you will have your University of Toronto, McGill, University of British Columbia. Australia would have, Melbourne, Sydney, etc. So options, there are a lot, of course. a lot of options are available for us. This again, as to discussing that which option is the most suited for you, this will depend on an individual case, that what is your budget like, how many years of a course do you want to do you want to go to a place with or without GMAT. So some of you do think कि GMAT के बिना हो सकता है we'll not be able to get into at all, but that's not true. A lot of universities, owing to the COVID pandemic, in fact have waived off their GMAT requirements. So for the students who've not taken their GMAT, even in places like USA, you still have a lot of opportunities, right? And again, owing to the COVID pandemic, I understand, I've been talking about studying abroad, and it does come with costs. But I would again suggest to sit down with experts, whether it's our company or anybody else, to kind of understand your options, because universities today, of course, give out a lot of scholarships. They'll give out a lot of scholarships for you. You do get education loans, and like I have said, when you graduate from these universities, you get very good packages. तो अगर आप लोन भी लेते हो तो आपका return on investment under 5 years पूरा आ जाता है, which is a good thing, and this is something that's going to stay with you for a lifetime. So all these countries are good, and the decision as to where you should be going will really depend on individual to individual. For example, US, the quality of education is the best. If I'm talking about Canada, they give you a lot of stay back options and options of permanently settling down in the country. If I'm talking about UK, it comes out to be cheaper because they give 1 year master's courses, and usually most of them don't require GMAT, so you can get into a top college like University of Warwick, King's College London, etc., if you don't have a GMAT and you plan to do a 1 year degree. So every country has its own advantages and disadvantages, which we can discuss one on one. And that's exactly what my next slide also speaks about, that while choosing a university, it will differ from person to person, depending on at that point of time, what are the job prospects in that country, whatever course you want to do, is that country good for that or not, what sort of a location and weather suits you. For example, Canada is very cold, some people don't prefer that, etc. So you have to take a very wise decision based on the factors that choose you. So that's about for our presentation. And I think on our group I've already shared our brochure with you, wherein all our contact details are there. You have my contact details. Anybody who will want to schedule a one-on-one session, you can do that. I'll also share our social media handles with you and all our contact details, in case you want to view the kind of work we have done. And I think I'll leave the stage open for questions now. I think I've given you a lot of information, and for that I think what we'll have to do is I'll have to end this meeting, right? I'll send you all the information, and I would thank you all for joining this webinar and taking out time to do it. And thanks Weber and the Commerce Society for giving us this opportunity. We're delighted to do this. So now I think I'll end the meeting once, because we're running out of time here due to the time limit, and we'll restart the meeting for all the students who have queries, so we can now take out the time to discuss all the queries that we have. Right, so I'll end it, and you can rejoin please with all the queries that you have. I'll be more than happy to answer all the queries. Yeah, you can just leave the meeting, please. I'm just ending this till then.
Will you forward the second meeting link on the
You can use
group?
the same link. You please use the same link.
Or
Yeah.